My name is Steve Buist. I'm the investigations editor at the Hamilton Spectator newspaper. Well, I think that's pretty simple. I wrote a very lengthy series in 2008. It was called A Pig's Tale. And for that series, I became, I guess, the world's smallest pig farmer. I had one pig. I raised that pig from birth right through to my belly. And so I basically became like a farmer. I raised my pig at a farm, and I followed my pig all the way through the process until that pig had to go to the slaughterhouse. And then we collected the meat from the pig and brought it back, and we actually made a meal from one part of the meat that we got from the pig. So, I mean, it's probably the most difficult meal I've ever had to eat, because it was, there was a lot of emotions, there was a lot of ethical issues. The whole series and the evolution of the series made you think about modern agriculture and where our food comes from and why we do things a certain way. And oftentimes it's not something that people think a lot about. If you were to ask the average city dweller, where does your food come from? A lot of them will say the supermarket, without really thinking about how the food ended up in the supermarket in the first place. I think deep down we know that there must have been an animal involved in the process of when we get our meat, but we very consciously don't want to connect that animal that's standing in the field with that hunk of meat that's on a white styrofoam tray in the freezer section of the supermarket. We knew what the end was going to be for this pig, and that it wasn't going to be pleasant. And we didn't want people sort of outside the front of the Spectator with their placards, save our pig, type thing. So, on the one hand, you can't give the pig a name that makes it seem like a cuddly pet. On the other hand, you can't give it a name like, XL123, like it's some sort of experimental name or a robot or something like that. So we just played it straight down the middle, and we just called it Piggy. And so we used that kitchen here on the main floor of the Spectator, and we made a delicious meal of pork tenderloin from Piggy, and I have to say, it was delicious.